So corporations are out to make money, and corporations are like dinosaurs. They're big. They grew from small lizard-like, what I call mom and pop shops, little factories from just small families, into giant dinosaurs. And there's something very important that we have to know about what distinguishes dinosaurs from a later evolution called mammals.
Mm-hmm.
Mammals are nurturers, meaning mammals take care of things.
Okay.
The concept of a mammal is that it has offspring and it creates a world to grow its offspring up in. And so mammals live into the future because they're looking at, I want to make a world good for my children.
Mm-hmm.
Reptiles don't have a future, they live in the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
And corporations are like dinosaur reptiles because they extract all the wealth that they can, but with no vision for the future.
Mm-hmm.
They only want to know, what can I do right now? Well, that's a reptilian problem. And the reptilian problem is we never plan on what is the consequence of our action in a future world. As indigenous Indians have always done, is you don't do something today without thinking about what is the influence of what I do
Exactly.
on the future of the world. Well, corporations, they don't care. Their first thing is make money. And so it's interesting when you say, I see ads against global warming, like global warming is not occurring. And I go, who is writing these ads? And it turns out corporations. And
Exactly.
the simple reason is this. They're really hoping for global warming because where the ice is, like in the Siberia or the Arctic or the Antarctic, underneath that land is all the minerals they've never been able to get. So they're so excited by the fact that if we have global warming and all the ice melts, then they can mine.
There's a lot of stuff underneath. Yeah,
it. So it's like
course.
a corporate interests are actually pushing
Exactly.
against our survival
Exactly.
because they need to make money today.
Yeah, it's really insane. And on top of all this, you come with the concept of epigenetics. And epigenetics, as you explained in the first book, Biology of Belief, changes a lot of things about biology and what we are and how we live our life.
Yeah, it's a totally empowering for the individual
Exactly.
human awareness. And even though it's been known for a long time, it's not in the interest of the government and the control agency and the corporations
Mm-hmm.
to give us this information, because when we become empowered, they lose their grip on us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, how epigenetics works with the situation? I mean, how positively works with
Yeah.
the situation that we are in right now? Because it looks like a solution. You know? So
Yeah.
knowing that and changing beliefs and perceptions and way of conduct and things like that.
Before epigenetics was a science called genetics.
Yes.
I taught genetic control, which literally says control by genes. Well, as far as we know, we didn't pick the genes we came with. We can't change the genes, and the genes control our lives. We begin to be taught that we are victims of forces outside of us, and that we should be afraid of the future, and that we should be afraid of our health. And look at how bad health is everywhere, and you're part of this. So the more you're afraid, it actually turns out biologically, the sicker you can get, because fear is a promotion of illness. And so basically it says that there's a new science that's been understood. I saw it 40 years ago. It's taken a long time for the scientific conventional community to begin to acknowledge this.
Okay.
But in the last few months, for example, in January this year, Time magazine, the cover story was on DNA is Not Your Destiny, which was telling the public about the fact is that you control your genes, the way you live your life. And so it's very interesting, just to clear up the name, genetic control, controlled by genes, that's what it translates as. Epigenetic control, completely different, because epi means above. So when I say epigenetic control, I'm literally saying control above the genes, which turns out the way we respond to life, our perceptions, our emotions, and our attitudes of life are actually directly affecting our genetic readout on a day-by-day basis. And why this becomes important, it says, well, in the old story of genetic control, you're a victim. Genes control you. You don't pick anything, and people become very irresponsible. You tell me I'm a victim long enough, there's a point where it's like, well, if I'm a victim, then I don't really need to worry. I don't care about anything.
There's nothing I can do. Yeah.
Nothing I can do about it, so I lose any responsibility. And now the epigenetic one is totally different because it says, as you change your perception, you change your genetics. Well, if that's the simple understanding, then there's a simple truth, and that is, we are powerful creators because we're the ones that can change our perceptions. So all of a sudden, we're not limited by our perceptions. We're able to change them. And when we change them, we have dramatic control over our own biology. Now, after thousands of years of being irresponsible, it's kind of hard for the public to wake up to the reality is, wait a minute, you mean how I think and how I respond and how I live changes my biology, changes my genetics? I go, yes. And then when I start talking about responsibility, people are like, oh, I don't want to hear the story. And it's like, look, you haven't owned responsibility for all these years, and now the science is revealing you are responsible. That means we better change the way we are living, and we better change our perceptions, because if we don't, then we're going to continue on the path that science has already said is in front of us.